Welcome to Legally Speaking with Attorney Antoinette Osbourne. This program is for information purposes only. If you need legal advice, you can contact me, Antoinette Osbourne, at 718 502 9137. The office focuses on divorce, immigration, bankruptcy, real estate, and estate matters. We also do eviction proceedings. There is a second office in Jamaica, West Indies that focuses on legal representation if you are seeking to buy or sell property in Jamaica or if you're looking to wrap up an estate. For housekeeping purposes, prior outcomes do not guarantee a similar result. Thank you for joining us today on YouTube.
Mean you are going to be digged. It's like them going back to your ancestors. When I say robust vetting, I mean robust vetting, right? There's new guidance also to assess for citizenship and immigrants' good moral character, right? And in determining whether or not you should be given citizenship, before they used to focus on, the absence of bad behavior. Now, in addition to that, they're looking to see what positive contributions you can make to American society. So they're looking at your work history, your skills, your educational background. Can't warn you enough. They're looking for people who have been plaguing the system within 5 years of getting the green card, and you take any sort of federal means tested benefit that's for welfare purposes, you are deportable. What happened when you come out of the 5 year, but you're still what is deemed a drain on the system? That is going to be taken into consideration as well. They're not operating in a vacuum, but everything is being looked at. Just a reminder that going back to the days, and I have uploaded a video on YouTube about this. They are resuming their neighborhood investigations. What does that mean? It simply means that they're going back to, anybody can give you a reference that you are a person who is really worthy of citizenship. Looking for possibly an employer reference. They're going to be talking to neighbors. They wanna get into the what you call, I'll say, the olden days, where them used to, it's not just looking to see, oh, okay, you have no criminal records, all right, your name not on the list where you're possibly a terrorist, little things like that. No, they're looking to see what positive attributes you have, what contributions, positive contributions that you've made to the American society, especially with people who have criminal records. You may not be deportable, but I want to see some form of rehabilitation. Are you going out there and volunteering in your neighborhoods, your churches? Some man no see church since Wappy was kill Philip, and you look for a reference from the pastor. Pastor don't know you. Or you're expecting the nice, clean, good, respectable man if you give a reference. Yeah, we're going back to these days, right? So for those of you where you know sound not proper, go out there, go start volunteer, so somebody can refer you, because this is where we are going back to. Citizenship has changed. It's no longer boom, bam, boom. You're going, you pass the test, you have no negative reflection on you that would prevent you. No, it don't work like that no more. The entire hemisphere of citizenship is changing. Now, these coming weeks, you've heard that they're going to be re-implementing the 2020 naturalization test. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osbourne on 97.1 FM HD3 Irie Jam Radio. We are here on Sundays between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. You can listen in if you have the physical HD3 radio. The newer cars have it, and for those of you who are interested in buying a HD3 radio, you can as well. For those of you who listen in online, it's irijamradio.com, and they also have their own app for convenience purposes. So if you're in your car, you can plug into your phone, just press the app, it will come through your car. For those of you heading to church this morning, please don't forget to pray for the lawyer. All right, now, so the 2020 naturalization test, it's coming back. Now, this test was originally announced on November 13, 2020. So this test really is a revamp of the 2008 test. But I'm going to show you how each administration hates on the other. The 2025 test that is coming, and for those of you who I am going to encourage you, if you qualify for citizenship, put in your application because this test starts for all petitions filed on or after October 20th of this year. So if you have your citizenship application to file, you try make sure it filed by October 19th. Anything filed on or after October 20th, you're going to be taking the new 2025 test. All right, so I'm going to show you how, boy, how political parties, the hatred they can have for each other. So when the Trump administration came in, right, in 2016, they went ahead and the prior 2008 naturalization test was revised because they thought it was too easy. Like, this is all you have to do to get citizenship. They said, no, this is not going to work, right? So they got rid of that 2008 test. But this was replaced in 2020. Then who gets appointed in 2020? A new administration comes in. The Democrats came in, right? And they're like, no, we're not going to let people go through this hardship to become a citizen, right? So by 2021, they might get rid of the 2020 test. So that 2020 test, which was a more rigorous test, only lasted for 5 months. Because by the time Biden gets in, yeah, he gets rid of it. So come 2024, we have a new administration. So now that 2020 test is now revamped in 2025 after our president, right, gets elected in 2024. So this is one administration hitting out against the other. But here it is. 2025, we have this new test. And it's taking effect for those petitions. So every petition filed for citizenship on or after October 20th of this year, 2025, you are subject to the 2025 test. All right, so the 2025 test is it's the same thing like the 2020 tests that the Trump administration had sought to put in. Just have a little difference, but we'll get into that, right? So at the end of the day, the 2020 naturalization test, which is really the test you're going to be doing in 2025, What it has done, it has increased the general bank of civic test questions, right? So before you used to study like 100 questions, now you're going up that to 128 questions you're studying. Still not too bad. They just added 28 questions to the pool from what you're going to be studying in order to become a citizen. But what is important is when you actually go into immigration now and you're doing your citizenship test, the number of questions have increased from 10, because under the 2008 test, which is what is in effect now, the questions, you go in now and you filed your application before October 20th, you're doing the 2008 test, and that's just 10 questions. When you file after October 20th, on or after October 20th, you're doing 20 questions. For those of you who don't know you can't manage 20 questions, make sure you put in your application by October 19. Yeah? Make sure it filed before then. So, now that they have 20 questions, the issue is now how much you have to pass. Yeah, man. Before, anybody doing these 10 questions, know you had to pass 6. Now, the questions double. So, the number of questions you have to pass double. So, instead of passing 6 questions, you are now required to pass 12 questions. So, you're going to be studying a little harder. Now, this is something where they're going to be uploading the information on uscis.gov. Make sure when you are buying your CDs or you're downloading the app to study citizenship, I am going to encourage you, make sure if you have not met the deadline of filing before October 20th, make sure you are studying for that 2025 citizenship test. Island people have a way like we're like Terry, we don't like take things serious. A lot of your family members are depending on you to get that citizenship. And for wives or husbands in the homes, you know that your spouse, them not really take information well. You should be, as a partner, someone not just take the title and not do the job. You should be assisting, especially if your citizenship status is dependent on this. You should be assisting your spouse to study for this exam. For those of you, or even the kids, the older kids, you can assist your parent. Because you know, say them have a problem, them not take information too quickly. You should be helping them. For those of you who marry on a cross's spouse and them bad mind, me not have no remedy for you. Are your choice. But those of you who have partners who are there and they are in that house ready for your betterment, for your uplifting, those are the partners who are going to be helping you. Yeah? All right. So the 2020 naturalization test is back. And it have a new jacket now. It's called the 2025 citizenship test. Now, the only difference between the 2020 to the 2025 test, because remember, you know, when the Biden administration come in, them kick out the 2020 citizenship test. But the Trump administration is in. So they might kick out the 2008 test. It's now have the armor called the 2025 naturalization test. This is where we're at. So the only difference is between the 2020 and this one, the one that's actually coming into effect for all petitions that are filed after October 20th of this year, is that Them not have to ask you the entire 20 questions. So, if you go in and you get 12 right, them stop. If you go in and you reach and you get 9 wrong, them stop. That mean you fail. If you get 9 wrong, that mean you can't pass 12. There's no availability for you to get 12 correct. So that's the only difference. That if you pass, once you reach 12 correct, the officer just stop the exam. Right? So this is one of the similarities with the 2008 test. Now, one of the good things that immigration trying to strike a balance, right? And what they're trying to ensure is that of the questions, the 128 questions that are coming, 75% coming from the 2008 test. So there is cause for concern, but you really don't have to worry because the majority of the questions are coming back from the 2008 test. All this test is really doing is causing you, when you have this civics test to do, it's for you to learn more US history, because they thought that what you were doing under the 2008 really didn't teach you much about America. So it's really beneficial to you to learn some more civics, right? And this is all that this test is looking to do. You get 12 right, you're good. If you're answering the questions and you say you get 9 right, you know say all right, they say it done. But I'll tell you this, the good thing about naturalization, you get a second chance before you have to go back and spend filing fees to redo over tests. They give you a second chance to redo the test. So if you go the first time, I'm not encouraging anybody to go the first time and fail, but if you go the first time and you fail the test, all is not lost. You have an opportunity to go back and redo the test. What is required of you is to get 12 right. Once you've gotten 12 right, then the officer is going to stop the questioning. So just tuning in, you're listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osbourne. This morning, we are focusing on the 2025 Citizenship Test, which is coming in starting if you file your application on or after October 20th, you're doing this test. So instead of studying from 100 questions, you're studying from 128. They've added 28 more questions. And what's the passing? You have to pass, that is to get right 12 questions out of the 20 questions. It's still not too bad. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. So it's still not too bad. For those of you who have your reading problems, go ahead and find a teacher. I think our community should have a pool of teachers that make themselves available. I'm not asking somebody for work for free. Times hard, so I'm not for pay the people. But we need a pool of teachers to come ahead and help people. I remember, we're coming from the islands. And Ghana is as an island, but they're included in the Caribbean. So we are wrap them in, right? You have people in rural areas. Most of the islands, well, I know Barbados, them not have to pay. I don't know if it changed now, right? But Jamaica have a thing where they say, you don't have to pay a school fee. But there are certain other expenses incidentals that you still have to find. And you have kids in rural areas where it's hard, whether it's a transportation wise issue or the parents just don't have it. So if you see someone and they do not have the ability to read, there's no need to look down on them. right? People just like to judge people. On a sit down, on a cock up on a high horse. The library here, oftentimes you will find the library in your area, they have reading programs. So adults, you should not be so embarrassed that you can't go and seek the assistance. It helps you. It helps you in your ability to get jobs. It helps you, I think, people who lack of comprehension, you get ignorant quick. Yeah, man. You're lacking reasoning. You don't have the ability to reason out things because guess what? You're frustrated. But you sitting down there in your problem and not seeking to correct it, a one life forget. Make use of it. And this is where a lot of people get taken advantage of. Whether it could be your own spouse, your family members, because you do not know how to read. You are not helping yourself. Take shame out of your eye. Don't even watch the people in other class. People must know to focus on certain things, cut and go through. Let me tell you the smartest man. The smartest man is the one who knows that he has a disability or some sort of a limitation and he might look for surpass it. You sitting down there in your sorrows, that does not help you. Yeah? And you want to feel sorry for yourself and you go out there and people take advantage of you because they know you can't read. This is something in our society we need to encourage people, especially when it affects your pocket, where so a lot of people know the job, but they're restricted from doing it because they have a reading disability, a learning disability. Go fix it. Stop sit down and feel sorry for yourself. Come on now, we're all adults. Just tuning in, you're listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osbourne on 97.1 HD3 Ira Jam Radio. All right, so you see them striking a balance now, right? And it's a striking a balance where they still kept some of the 2008 questions because 75% of this 2025 test is from the 2008 test. The only difference is from 2008, you have to they add on 28 questions and you have to pass 12 now, right? So what does that mean? You find time, una have time figure out, go look side girl, una have time figure out, figure do una gambling, una have time for do a whole heap of foolishness. Focus now on positivity. Because when you're a citizen, yeah, not everybody you see in prison, yeah, actually do a crime. So you at the wrong place at the wrong time. A problem for you. Dog name your supper. And this citizenship is something, yeah, that helps you stay, right? All right. So we're focusing this morning on the 2025 tests. It's changing. Immigration itself is a different animal under this administration. Accordingly, this administration is more focused on enforcement. So them now make nothing easy for you. Right? Now, for those of you who are 65 years or older and you have your green card, right? So you live in the United States for at least 20 years. Then immigration for you had a little exception now. You still get your 10 questions, right? So that's a plus. You don't have to study for 20 questions. You still get your 10 questions basically from the specially selected bank of 20 questions, right? From the 2008 or 2025 naturalization test. But are just 10 questions you do, right? So I want those of you, do not take anybody, you're filing after October 20th. Nobody take anybody old CDs to study. Make sure whatever app you're using that you are actually studying, if you filed after on or after October 20th, that the app that you're using is updated and it has the 2025 civics tests. Make sure it has those material. What is happening is usually when you'd go for your fingerprints, they would give you the book. Back in the day, you could have just passed by and get the book. Them now do that no more. Right? But what happens is for people who are not fingerprinted, them have the opportunity to get the book because sometimes USCIS will reuse your biometrics. Biometrics meaning your fingerprint. So for those of you who they're gonna reuse, make sure you buy a CD, right? Or the app that you are using, or go on their website, uscis.gov, right? So that's uscis.gov. That's the only official website for USCIS, right? Now, in reality, most people are not going to face this test.
If you've reached this far in the video, that means you are at the end of the program. At this time, if this information served some value to you, I would ask that you like, share, and subscribe so it will allow the information to reach further in our community. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok page. Thank you.